Hi, my name is Benae Stein, and I'm soon in October going to be 62 years old. I've worked for Community Connections for 18 years, almost exactly. I've lived in Durango for about 21 years and moved here from Los Angeles. Had been married but got divorced once pretty soon after we moved here. I happened to find an ad in the paper because I hadn't worked for quite a few years before we got divorced, and I saw this ad in the paper about working for Community Connections, and I thought, that could be interesting to me. 18 years later, I guess it was interesting. I work in various compartments of CCI, as I work for Holly House, I work some residential work, and I work for the other group that's called SLS. So I have quite a varying components to my workday, depending on which day of the week it is and which clients I have. I work with quite a few different clients, and we help to facilitate their life in the community. We do things like going different comparison shopping groups. We help mentor clients. We go to parks, we go to the mall. We just try to integrate clients into the community as best as possible and as much interaction with community members as possible. It's a passion of mine. It's, it started out just being something that had some flexibility when my 3 sons were young. But then obviously they're grown and out of the house now, but they, obviously it wasn't just the flexibility that kept me here. I adore my clients, I adore what I do, and, I don't do much outside of work. My biggest hobby is probably watching television and reading and listening to music. I go to a lot of music festivals too. But love the different clients and love the fact that I get the variety of lots of different clients.
Great, thank you. What would you say is your greatest joy working with clients with Community Connections?
My greatest joy is basically the clients themselves, but I guess when one of my clients makes personal progress, when they're able to have a goal and reach that goal without too much difficulty.
Why did you decide to stay with Community Connections for 18 years?
Well, the years just kept going and I kept wanting to be here. There was never a conscious decision that I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, but there was never a reason to leave. I just kept enjoying what I was doing, so the years have passed, and I imagine I'll work here as long as I'm still able to work.
Can you speak a little bit about your opinion with passion and finding your purpose? Do you think that's a lot of people are using that term nowadays, like, I want to find my purpose, what's my passion? Sounds like you're living that.
I'm definitely living my passion and my purpose because that's what it ended up being. It's like I am passionate about my clients. There's just an amazing relationship. They teach me a lot about life. Along with, my helping to teach them about life, but they've taught me a lot about relationships, and, I've always been a people person, and especially, I had very little college. I wasn't qualified to do hardly anything when I first took this job. So I feel like this is the closest job I could have to what I had originally thought I was going to college for. But then I met my husband and dropped out. But it's, it was always people-centered ideas. It was like, social work or psychology or nursing even. So this kind of includes all of those.
What's been the most impactful experience you've had here? Do you have any stories?
Oh, lots of stories.
Maybe one you want to share that's really stands out?
It's just like clients that I have that I've worked with for a long time. I have a few that I've worked with for at least 12 years. And I think one of the more important and impactful things when I could see them actually succeed in being able to work and a job within the community, and just to have the self-gratification, the self-worth that comes with that.
Great. What do you see as your vision for our community? What would you like to see in our community?
Well, what I'd like to see is more acceptance from the community with our clientele and more letting them be able to integrate more. Them being able, more of our clients being able to work within the community and to see that, they can work perhaps with some help. Some need job coaches, but to see that they can work just like anybody else can, and for the community to become more aware of that.
How do you think we can become more aware?
Well, I think part of it is what we do by integrating them, being out in the community a lot, letting them socialize, finding ways, creative ways for our clients to socialize more and with more of the community. Which is like we do things like we do this one activity that we call People Bingo. And we come up with all sorts of things in, a bingo type graph of questions to ask community members. And that way, they would go up to somebody and say, do you have any of these things? Like, do you like the Broncos? Are you wearing black? What's your favorite color? And that's a real good forced and casual interaction.
Yeah, that's great. Do you think our community has anything we can work on? Would
Well,
you like to see anything change?
What I would like to see is, we have a really pretty accepting community, but what I'd like to see is less fear of the diversity, less fear of our community within community connections, just being open to knowing that they're just like anybody else, just with different abilities.
So less fear, being open, and hey, we're all humans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we're all humans, and we're, just because we have different abilities doesn't mean they're different than anybody else. They feel, they talk, you might not be able to understand some of our clientele that easily, but it doesn't mean they don't think and feel just like we do.
Right, and everybody has different strengths.
Exactly.
And weaknesses, right?
We all have different abilities.
Yeah, and diversity is pretty healthy, at least in the ecosystem.
Right?
So,
yeah,
probably true for community.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.